her program last year. Yeah.
The Avant-Garde-Rama,
Avant-Garde-Rama.
yeah.
It's been running forever. And I think that Avant-Garde-Rama was one of the first things I ever did at PS 122.
All right,
And then you
that's
get,
excellent.
there was another night, I can't remember what it was called, where you'd get half a night and you finally would ask Mark Russell for your own weekend. And it was there that I sort of put together improvisational dancing and political theater and circus shtick and made the first show. And that's what evolved several years later into Circus Amok. So first it was a...
Which is still going on.
Which is still going on. This will be our 15th year touring
That's
the park.
incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
You're in Tompkins Square Park. I see you often in the summer.
Yeah, yeah.
At least once in the summertime. It's more than that, it seems.
It's once because we play for the full month of September. It used to be June, but it's a different park every
I see.
Every day, Thursday through Sunday. So
Great.
Union Square in the neighborhood as well. But
Right.
again, all the way from the top of the Bronx
Also,
to
something
Coney Island.
linking together your work is a certain political theme.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that. How did you develop the political theme?
I've always done political work. I think my early mentors, you know, were doing political work, and also I was raised by Quakers, you know, Jewish Quakers.
Oh, really?
who were-
Isn't that interesting?
So, and in the Quaker thing was always activism, was you know, fighting
Injustice.
the
Vietnam
the war in
War,
Vietnam.
war
I
in
grew up
particular.
doing, and civil rights. Yeah. So, you know, and then fighting nuclear power plants. So putting it into
Right.
the work, you know, sort
Right.
of made doing political work that much more exciting.
Sure.
Easier.
Sure. So you put that in, but
More
you put it right to
plurality.
this day. You continue on, you put it in your, and
Yeah.
it was all throughout. I mean, to make Bernie Madoff. Now, let's talk about the politics behind this. It's funny because Bernie Madoff, just a few months ago, was the devil.
Yeah,
He couldn't be, he was the representative of everything evil.
yeah.
Now we're beginning to hear that maybe he was a scapegoat. That first of all, a lot of folks who gave him money were getting higher than average returns,
Exactly.
which in anybody but the most greedy person should have been ringing alarm bells for a long time before.
Right, right. But people just went blindly to where
Oh,
the money
sure,
was.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And here was this guy just standing there saying, "Hey, here I am."
Yeah, yeah.
Now he's doing basically the rest of his life in prison, and people are scratching their heads and saying, how come other people are not doing the rest of their
Right.
life in prison? A lot more powerful people than Bernie Madoff.
Right. Right.
Now, did
right.
you see the slideshow on the New York Times website today? It's all about the original Ponzi.
You
gotta check it out.
No, I didn't see it. I'm going to see it. Yeah, I know there's a book out. One of the Carlton Ward, I forgot to mention, who plays my sister's
Oh,
statue.
absolutely,
Right.
right.
Oh, right,
Because
this-
it's the story of the Liberty
Sisters.
Sisters.
It's the story of the Liberty Sisters, a juggling duo working in an old vaudeville theater who Sybil, have lost all of our money to Bernie Madoff. And so I can't let my sister Sybil know because we have
Statua.
dreams. Sorry,
Sybil-
sometimes I get us confused.
Let's
Sybil
get this right.
Liberty.
Sybil and Statue of
Sybil
Liberty.
Liberty, Statue of
Statue of
Liberty.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Sybil Liberty and Statue of Liberty.
And they came from Circus Amok.
Now,
And where there used to be a few other
it's
Liberty
also
Sisters.
funny from the first moment, which I think that's something that always impresses me, because being funny isn't that easy. But to be funny from the first moment is especially difficult. And I mean, I was shrieking
With
from
the
the
dance.
first moment. Yes,
Yeah.
the opening number is just absolute hilarity.
Okay, tell folks, let's take a moment now and just
Oh,
remind
yeah,
folks.
run over where you can see this, because you've got to see it.
Yeah.
Cracked Ice, or Jewels of the Forbidden Skates, at PS 122, Performance Space 122, which is 1st Avenue and 9th Street, this Wednesday through Sunday, 8 o'clock, with an 11 o'clock show on Saturday as well.
And you can find out more information by just typing in PS 122 in any search engine, and
That's
you'll
right.
come right to it
Yeah.
and see everything
See
you
how
need to
to
know
do
right
it
on their
all,
front
right,
page.
yeah.
How to do
But
it
you'll
all.
love
You
it.
can go to the Circus Amok website.
Oh, you have
And
it
it's
there as well.
funny.
Oh, what's the
really
Circus
funny.
Amok website?
Circusamok.org, CIRCUSAMOK.
And they can
Circus
find out about the
AMOK.
schedule there for the summer. Or
And you can find out about the fall schedule, which isn't up yet, but will be. But you can get on the mailing list. Click on something and get on the
Right.
mailing
So
list.
if you're really into performance, this is a great thing. By the way, I didn't have a moment to put up our phone number, but in my old radio style, I'll just read it out to you, and you can dial if you have any questions. We're here live.
Yeah, call us
And Let
up.
Them Talk. I'm Paul Durienzo, Miss Joan Marie Musi. Jennifer Miller is our guest, and our number is 212-757-1538. 212-757-1538. If you have a question, if you have a comment about theater, about
Or if you've seen the show.
the show, if you've seen the show, and
Call us
or
up.
And you liked it?
Bernie Madoff, if you have any
Otherwise,
comments
don't call.
about Bernie Madoff or the present economic crisis, it's all related, and we'll try our best to answer all your questions. So that's our number, 212-757-1538. And we'll repeat that later on. So.
Call us up. Yeah, someone had a suggestion that we offer tickets to everyone that had lost money to Bernie Madoff. So that they should all come see the show. But it's true, a lot of people did make money. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, in Ponzi schemes, it's not that everybody loses money; it's the people who get in last.
Yes,
it's the early
people
winners, the late
out.
losers, right?
And they're the ones who are talking about, I made so much money with Bernie Madoff, and everybody goes crazy.
It's a totally interesting thing. And the thing is, I wrote it so fast that
great!
I barely
it spilled out of you.
Yeah, because I got the award, and I was about to make a circus. That took that was months, and then I got into teaching semester, and then all of a sudden it was like December. Yeah, it was time, and I didn't know what I was going to do at all. And then this character popped in.
I like pressure.
I like pressure too. I mean,
for writing
over the
a
years,
deadline
it's
is great.
Yeah. The terror is wearing, after 25 years. But
now you developed this play out of your award, your Eichelberger Award.
Yeah.
All right, let's
it's a commissioning
We'll go
award.
back and talk about that a little bit more. It's interesting. What is a commissioning award for people who might not know all these things? We take it for granted, and we're not really a theater program, so we're not necessarily have a theater following.
Right.
What's a commissioning award, Ethel Eichelberger Award? What was that all about?
Well, the award recognizes a person, but it also gives them a budget for a show. Now, it's a fairly limited budget.
Yes, it is.
Which,
but PS kicked in a little more.
Oh, great, because...
And they provide the space, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the show is always done, is at PS 122. And every year, in the middle of the run, they announce the next year's winner, who's Vaginal Davis for next year.
Fabulous.
And with that money, they have a year, but as she said, obviously everybody's doing other things. It's not like you have a year to actually work on it.
As the time gets closer and closer,
it does not pay for a year off to write it. No. Absolutely not. But it does pay for the expenses of a show. And it's a limited amount, so it forces people to show their ingenuity. There's no doubt about that, which I thought the set was truly ingenious.
It is, without letting too much, because you have to go see the show.
Well, as soon as you walk in, you see the set.
Yeah.
So it's not a curtained show where it opens, and so you're able to enjoy that at the beginning.
When the lights go off.
Very glittery.
Yeah,
very.
It is glittery. And when the lights go off, people come and change things. Sometimes they're changing
glitter makeover.
things in the play as other scenes are even going on.
Yeah.
In another corner changing.
In the dark. Yeah.
And that's what's great, because it creates like a fast-moving, a fast-paced thing. It's like, you guys like trashed the place. I mean, it was I mean, like at the end of the place is totally trashed.
I know.
People are knocking over, and you can see it's somewhat ad-lib, because people are knocking things over, and they're just like, throwing it around, and it becomes part of the play. So I love that spontaneity. It was hysterical.
Yeah. No, a friend of mine who I've worked with many times came up to me afterwards and said, "You make the biggest mess in every show."
Right.
I didn't really want I don't really love the mess, but I love the throw. Like I love the
look
throwing
of
when the
it,
fabric is flying in the air.
And you have so many characters and so many subplots going on at the same time, and it's all comes together beautifully at the end.
So don't tell it.
I won't tell it. But it all comes together beautifully.
You should watch a movie with Paul. It's like screaming at every commercial, "Don't tell me what's next."
Right. But it's like the MacGuffin. I mean, it's like great. You have a great MacGuffin in that movie. Everybody's fighting in
don't
Bernie
tell
Madoff. And everybody's like
look at him. He's getting closer and closer.
Come see it.
Right.
Yeah, you've got to see it.
It's a great play.
Amazing. I loved it.
And you've gotten some great reviews already. I just checked it on the website. The Village Voice gave you a great review, I think.
A Voice Choice. I hope they come and review, actually.
Yeah, Voice Choice is great, though. It brings the people out.
Voice Choice is really good. And they haven't given us that for the circus in a while.